5 keys to the credit repair process that you must know. Hello, you got Mr.
and Mrs.
Smith. And in this video, we want to talk to you about the 5 key factors that you must know as it relates to your credit and boosting your credit. Many people skip steps, but when you skip steps, you lose out on boosting your credit at a rapid pace. So we want to give you 5 keys that you can take it to the bank, run with, and boost your credit score so you can do what it is that you desire to do with your credit. Let's talk to them. You want to pop it off, Point, or you want me to?
Go ahead and pop it off.
Number 1, payment history. See, as it relates to your credit, you got to understand the power of your payment history and how much it affects your credit. You see, a lot of times people only focus on this, which it is important because it affects your credit by 35%. 35% of your credit score is affected by your payment history. What is payment history? Payment history is exactly what it sounds like. The history or the track record as it relates to how you've been paying on your debts, on your expenses. It could be rental history. It can be rent, mortgage, utilities in some cases, but mainly things like credit cards, car loans, auto loans, personal loans. All of those things are reflected on your payment history. Obviously, the better your payment history, the better it's reflected on your credit. So you got to get that intact. If it's not intact, then there are things you can and should do in order to make that payment history look a little better. But if it is intact, then your credit score will thank you and it'll affect it by 35%.
Yeah, and that's crazy, you guys. So the highest factor as it pertains to your credit score is payment history. And what you established with the creditors previously, you paying your things on time, or you being late, or you missing payments, is all a factor. Now, sometimes payment history can be removed from your credit report. There's a lot of different letters that you can use, whether it's a goodwill letter, verification letter, a non-compliance letter. There's a lot of different letters that you can actually use as it pertains to actually getting payment history removed from your account. But this is the thing. A lot of people want to remove everything from their credit, including the negative payment history. And that's one of the things that you really have to be careful for, because you don't want all the good and the bad in your payment history to be removed.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. So understanding those letters, the 609 letters, the 4 main letters that we tell people about all the time is a key piece. But that's just the first factor because it affects 35% of your credit score. Let's get into number 2.
Number two is credit utilization.
Yes.
Now, I know you guys are familiar with this. Now, credit utilization accounts for 30% of your overall score. Now, what is credit utilization? It's exactly as it sounds. Utilizing your credit. So especially if you have something like a credit card, okay, we keep bringing that up. Even though we're against credit and we're against debt and things of that nature, it's still very beneficial as it pertains to having a high credit score. With your credit utilization, the rule of thumb is to keep your utilization between anywhere from 10 to 30%. If you can keep it under 30%, that is awesome, okay? Not only should you keep it under 30% for individual accounts, but also collectively, your utilization should be under 30%. So there's a lot of different ways for you to actually get your utilization down, whether that means just paying things off, paying down your balance, increasing your income, right?
Yep.
It's a lot of ways to get it down, but keep in mind, this accounts for 30% of your overall score. So it's very important that you get that utilization down as low and as fast as possible.
I love it. And a brief example, say you had a $1,000 credit limit and you had $900 spent. That's 90% utilization. That does not look good. However, if you could pay $600 on it, that knocks you down to $300 out of a $1,000 credit limit. Now you're at 30%. Even lower, even better. So you can pay it down to make your credit utilization look good, or even get a credit limit increase, and that lowers your utilization as well. Number 3, because we don't want this video to be stretched out too far, and that is credit history. So you got payment history, you got credit utilization, and you got credit history. What is the lifeline or the time limit or the age of your credit? Right. From day one to day now, how long has your credit been in action? How long have you been using your credit score? That determines your credit history. Now, the younger person is, the less history they've been able to accumulate. So sometimes you have to do what's called piggybacking, meaning that you become an authorized user on someone else's credit, and this adds history to your credit. So if you have a parent or somebody that you trust, or they trust you, they can add you as an authorized user. Not even give you a credit card to allow you to mess up their credit, but it helps your credit because it gives you credit history. If you've had a little time to use your credit and accumulate, pay off a car or have credit cards, then your credit history has lengthened, and it can be beneficial if you've been handling your credit properly.
Yes, now credit history actually accounts for 15% of your overall score. And as he was just stating, the longer the history, actually the better, the more beneficial it can be for you. Age and experience does matter in this category, okay? So you want to make sure that you have all of your T's crossed and you've dotted all of your I's as it pertains to your credit history, okay? So keep that in mind. Being an authorized user on an account is one of the perfect things that you can do for your kids, especially if you have good payment history and you have, you're making your payments on time and you have a pretty decent score.
I love it.
Number 4.
Number 4 and 5 really go hand in hand, and number 4 is
new credit.
New credit.
New credit. Okay, now I don't want y'all to take this one literally. Okay, you don't want to basically accept every single thing that you qualify for. So if 5 car offers come in the mail, you don't want to accept all 5 of those. Okay, we're not telling you to act on every single thing that you see, but it is good for you to have both new credit and then number 5, which is credit mixture. Okay, those go hand in hand. See, here's the thing. You have to have both installment and revolving debt. Okay, you have to have a mixture of both. Basically, what that means is you have to have some short-term debt as well as some long-term debt. So they want to see things like a credit card, a department store card. And then on the flip side, they want to see that you can handle long-term debt like a home loan or a car note. Okay, so having a mixture of both is always good. So if you don't have a mixture of both currently, that's where the new credit kicks in. Show them that, hey, I can apply for this credit card or this department store card today, and in a matter of 6 months, I won't miss a payment. My payments are made on time. I'm not late. And that is really good because those two things actually account for about 10% each of your overall score.
Absolutely. And if you take all of those 5 key factors that we laid out into consideration, you can boost your credit score because you'll have the right mixture, the right history, and the right future ahead of you as it pertains to your credit. We just wanted to give you a quick 5-factor tip of things you must know as it pertains to the credit repair process so you don't overcomplicate it, but don't get manipulated by somebody who doesn't focus on all 5. That's all I got. You got anything else, Coin?
That's all we got, you guys. Maybe we'll do an in-depth video a little bit later, but we just wanted to drop these 5 quick tips. All right, that's all we got.
Yes, sir, Mrs. Smith.
Signing out.
Out.